It was painted in 1778, about 3 years after Romney had come back from Rome, and it was when he was just becoming intensely fashionable as a society portraitist in London. But it's not really a society portrait, it's a private commission, and it was arranged through William Hayley. The sitter, Charlotte Bettesworth, was a neighbour of Hayley's who was affianced through Hayley's kind of machinations and matchmakings to a friend of his, John Sargent. And I think Hayley persuaded Charlotte's father that he needed a wedding portrait of her. And he escorted Charlotte up to London for Romney to paint her. And the portrait really is, has far more kind of Reynoldsian allusions, I suppose you'd say. There's a lot more going on in this portrait than there is with most of Romney's society portraits, which are, fairly perfunctory, I suppose you'd say. Not so thoughtful as this one. One thing that you gather is a sort of strong kind of voyeuristic frisson from this picture, and I think that's something that Hayley and Romney bonded with. They both had this rather kind of voyeuristic attitude to women, and her pose there's an element of the risque about this very sort of front-on pose with the white drapery falling in such a way that Charlotte's figure is very sort of easy to read. And apart from that, of course, in the background, there's this relief sculpture of the marriage of Cupid and Psyche based on a gem formerly in the collection of the Earl of Arundel, which of course is the main town not far from Eartham and not far from Lavington, where Charlotte lived. The marriage of Cupid and Psyche was the classical story that Hayley and Romney had kind of bonded over. Romney had been commissioned by Hayley to do drawings for a translation of Apuleius's rendition of the Cupid and Psyche story. And to have that in the background, it ties the picture together as a sort of monument to Romney's and Hayley's friendship, mediated by this ostensibly polite commission for a portrait of his neighbour.